Why is Kennedy stuck at 5%? Now, seems just really strange to me because, as far as I can see, Kennedy's running a pretty fairly successful campaign considering he is a third party candidate. But why can't he break 5%? Now, in this video, I'm going to go ahead and spend some time looking at the 1992 election with Ross Perot, the 1996 election also with Ross Perot, the debates of 1992, why Ross Perot wasn't invited back to the 1996 debates, what mainstream media had to say about these events, as well as some perspectives on whether or not Kennedy should be part of these debates moving forward, because as you already know, there's a couple of debates scheduled between Trump and Kamala, and as of right now, Kennedy is not invited to them. But why? So let's go ahead and jump into it. So back to this election of 1992 with Ross Perot against Clinton and Bush. Ross Perot ended up with almost 19%, 18.9%, almost 20 million votes. Now, he did not win any states. He didn't. But this is still a fantastic astronomical number. This is almost unheard of for a third party candidate. It's never been done since. Absolutely not. But the question that I have is, how did that happen? How did he end up with almost 19 million, I mean, more than 19 million votes? How does that happen? Okay? And also, is Kennedy our generation's Perot? Okay, let's get into it. So, I have some ideas here, and I actually just uncovered some polls, some polling questions from ICPSR, right? And it is the Institute for Social Research of the University of Michigan. So huge shout out to them. Now, as you guys know, I've been fascinated with we've been fascinated with just polling questions here. Okay. Not always in the best way because sometimes it's uncomfortable and irritating because if you look here at this small poll, no, we've went over a lot of these already, right? We know that these questions are manipulative, but my question is, were they always manipulative? And we're talking so much about polls because that's that's the criteria for actually getting onto the debate stage in 2024. So if Kennedy wants to get on the debate stage, he needs to improve in the polls. So how do you improve in the polls? If these are the questions, he's not a part of this. How, is he supposed to get over 15% by someone by every pollster or every respondent saying someone else? All right, is that how he gets to 15%? And my question was, well, how did this happen? How did Ross Perot end up on the debate stage with Bush and Clinton? How does that happen? In what world does this happen? So I was curious if these are the questions that we're receiving right now. Was that always the case for third party candidates? And the answer is no. Because these were the questions that were asked in 1992. Okay, check this out. Look at this question right here. What if the presidential candidates were George Bush, the Republican, Bill Clinton, the Democrat, and Ross Perot, an independent candidate? That was an actual question asked. That's how Ross Perot ended up on the debate stage. But you're probably thinking, okay, well, this is just one question. I mean, we have had a bunch of polling include Kennedy, and he never really perform that high. Well, we saw that he did, but, is this just a one off? The answer is no. I mean, you see him right here, question number 11. You see him again here, question number 13. You see him again here, 14, 15, 23, 24, 52. Are you kidding me? This is just one slate of questions over here. And you're probably wondering, okay, well, this could just be a one off. Right, like, like his party could have paid for it, right? No, you're wrong. Here's another slate of, polling questions, right? And all these are from CBS News, New York Times monthly poll, right? Look at this. This is July 1992. Crazy. Okay, let's go looking. Let's go looking. Where's Perot? All right. Again, here. Question number 10. Is your opinion of Ross Perot favorable, not favorable, undecided, or you haven't heard enough to form an opinion? Okay. Is it just one off? No. Look at this. Question number 12 again. What if the presidential candidates were Bush, Clinton, Perot? Again, these are actual questions that were asked. Okay. Now, right now, we're not getting any of that. Right now, the entire polling that we're receiving is just two people. Are you voting for Kamala? Are you voting for Trump? That's it. That's it. And before it was Harris, it was Biden. Are you voting for Biden or are you voting for Trump? They're squeezing out Kennedy. It's so clear. I don't know if you remember my little thumbnail from the other day, but this has never been more real. This has actually been a deliberate decision, and I believe it traces all the way back to 1992 when Perot actually did very, very well in all of these polls, at least well enough to the point to get on that debate stage. And then what happened whenever he was on that debate stage? What happened? Do you have any guess? He crushed it. He was smart. He was intelligent. He was empathetic. He was compassionate. He answered questions. He didn't make people think they were dumb. He didn't speak down to people. He spoke to people. That's what happened. Don't take my word for it. You could take CNN's word for it. All right? Or at least 1992 CNN. All right? Look at this. This is right on their website. All right? 1992 presidential debates summary. Okay, I'm just going to scroll down. I want you to read this one of these last sentences with me. Look at this. A CNN USA Today news poll taken after the third debate found that viewers thought Perot had won. What? That doesn't make any sense. Is CNN saying a third party candidate won the debate? In 1992, Ross Perot, that's what this says, right? Look at this. Opinions, however, were tied between Clinton's and Bush's performances. 28% thought Clinton had done the best job, 28% Bush, and 38% said Perot. What? How could this be? A third party candidate doing good in debates? This wasn't even that long ago in the 90s. Are you kidding me? This doesn't make any sense. Okay, so that's probably how that probably had a significant part of why Ross Perot ended up with 19 million votes, right? Almost 19%. Now, again, he didn't translate into the electoral college, but we'll get there. We'll get there. I'm gonna bring something up later in the end of the video on how close he was on actually getting a purple state on here. Okay, but 19 million votes, that's crazy. And I believe a lot of it had to do with this performance right here, a direct competition, right? A marketplace of ideas and wisdom and a battle for the future of this country. That's what happened in 1992 alongside the other two candidates, a Democrat and a Republican. Okay. Now, I bet you're wondering, man, 1992, he probably crushed it again whenever he ran in 1996, right? Unfortunately, no. Something happened in 1996. Look at this. Ross Perot wasn't allowed back on the debate stage in 1996. Why? Beyond me. What does this person have to say about it? This was on Quora. I really appreciated their answer here. The question is, was the exclusion of Ross Perot from the 1996 presidential debates a denial of democracy by the media and political establishment? Okay, let's see. Pamela Bruce responds with, the Commission on Presidential Debates is a bipartisan group that was put on that has put on debates since 1988. In 1992, they chose to include Ross Perot, who met their criteria for inclusion. However, however, in 1996, they chose to carry a separate debate with only third party candidates. Ross Perot chose not to participate if he could not debate the other two major candidates. Ross Perot was an intelligent, savvy man who more than held his own in the 1992 debate stage. 47% of those watching rated Perot as the winner, 30 for Clinton, and only 16 for Bush. The CPD decided in 1996 not to take the chance of giving Perot the win again. They have been roundly criticized and even taken to court over their willingness to include third-party candidates. They have, and I'll show you soon. Is it democratic? Not particularly. However, the entire process of electing a president in the US is not particularly democratic either, is it? One person in Wyoming has triple the electoral power of one person in California. All right, like I said, Perot did decide to sue in order to get on the stage. All right. Now, again, this is on CNN, and look what happened here. Look, this is published. The Clinton and Dole campaigns apparently made a closed door agreement to lock presidential hopeful Ross Perot out of televised presidential debates. There's just no way. Mainstream media is also confirming that the major parties have locked them out. Could it be? That's just CNN, but is there more? Yeah, there is. The New York Times even has this opinion piece that says, "Let Ross Perot debate." Why? Probably because it's right. It's right to let people debate. It's right to let people fight things out on the stage. It's right to let the American people see their options right in front of them. That's right. But as we know, that unfortunately didn't happen. And you can see that where he was once standing at 19-20%, him not being part of the presidential debate actually ended up hurting him. And now he was sitting between 7 to 8%. Now what is that? Does that look familiar? Does this little graph look familiar? Now, if you're following Kennedy's campaign, you'll see that his position looks very similar, right? And why is that? It's because he wasn't allowed on the debate stage. He's still not allowed on the debate stage. But you know what happens when he is? And look at this. Whenever he didn't debate, Ross Perot ended up with a little less than 9% of the vote. 8 million people still showed up for him. And I want you to look at this. All right. Back over here, 1992 election. Look at this turnout. 58% turnout. Incredible. And look here, 1996, less. All right, 6% less. Now, could it be that whenever people don't feel represented, they actually just stop showing up? Could that be? I know a lot of the people who watch these videos, they'll say, if Kennedy is not on my ballot, I'm not I'm not interested in voting for anyone else. That's what people are saying, right? Do I think that's right? Your choice. You vote for who you want to vote for. But in terms of the debate, I'm reminded of what Kennedy just said live on the air with Fox News. Check this out.
If Fox News lets me on stage for the debate, I will win the election.
Yeah. And you know what? Honestly, that doesn't seem out of the ordinary because whenever you allow people to debate in front of all the voting Americans, you see things like this. People end up showing up. Now, I want to also share this other thing. Jules Terpak also comments on this. She says him being in the mix on stage would just feel right. As a voter consumer, I feel like I'd regret not being able to see him in that environment against Kamala and Trump. But there wouldn't be regret if they let him on stage, whether he performed or not. What ifs are nasty. 100%. You're right. But like we just read, these guys are these guys have colluded with each other to prevent and essentially squeeze out third party candidates. That's happened before. It happened in the 90s and it's happening again right now. So whenever I'm bringing up this conversation about like, oh, is Kennedy, you know, is Kennedy rhyming in a sense with Perot? I have to say, I believe so. There are powers that are preventing him from taking on that stage. And I just saw this clip recently with Bernie Sanders and Theo. And look at this. I'll play this just for a little.
That our election process is still democratic? Do you think it's still
Yes and no. I mean, you want to run for office. Can you? Yeah, you can. You got a certain number of signatures. But if you're going to win, and I have 10 times more money than you do, I will beat you 95% of the time.
Wow. 95% of the time. Now, I strongly recommend anyone who is curious about this to go watch that full video. It's about an hour long on Theo Vaughn's channel, and it is absolutely incredible. And I am a big fan of it. But the primary reason why I wanted to make this video is because I could just so clearly see that I'm not exactly experiencing clarity right now. And I believe a lot of Americans aren't either, especially people who are unsatisfied with both sides of the political aisle. There's people who look at Trump and they just don't know if they're in alignment with him, or they look at Kamala and they just don't know if they want to commit to that future. And on both sides, they're just these people who are just so curious if there's any possibility for more. And all I'm hoping for is, I don't know, I just want to make our elections honest again. I want it to look like this again. All right. Look at this. I kind of want it to look like this again. These are three people. All right. I think good things happen whenever there's a slate of candidates, because then there's just that much more of a chance that when someone's at their ballot station, that they could actually choose a candidate that they believe in, that they are comfortable with committing to. That's the future that I want. And look at this. We saw it in 1992, right? We saw it again in 1996, right again. And then something happened. We stopped seeing options. Right? Now it was just left and right, left and right, left and right, left and right, left and right. Are we gonna do the same thing again? Is it just gonna continue being this left versus right mentality? Are we gonna do something new? I also wanted to bring up one other quote, and I think about this quote a lot. And it's just because I feel like I'm struggling with, being manipulated by the media and it's uncomfortable. And I think about this quote. If you're a viewer of this channel consistently, you've probably heard me bring it up in the past, but I just think it's so good. I don't know if I see reality more clearly. I just know the reality we see isn't clear. And that the things we assume to be true are assumptions, not reality. And a lot of people are like, "Oh, well, guys, the reality is Kennedy can't win, right? A third party candidate can't win. There's just no way he ever wins a state and actually gets an electoral vote. There's just no way." Well, I hate to break it to you, but there is a way. If that's your argument, there is a way. This was in 1992 in Maine. Okay, Clinton, Perot, Bush. Now Clinton ended up winning this. But look at this. Look at these percentages. Clinton at 38%. Ross Perot at 30.44. Bush at 30.3. Here, Ross Perot had more votes than Bush. An independent had more votes than the Republican Party. That is absolutely wild. So whenever you hear numbers like Kennedy saying, "Oh, I just need 33% of the vote," or "I just need 34," guys, he's not joking. This could have happened in an alternate history. This happened. And then whenever we're looking back on history and we look back on this map, you would have seen a purple state here. That would have happened. We were so close to that. And if that were to happen, boom, the world changes overnight. I made this a while ago, but it's just becoming more and more true. These two people are almost squeezing him out. Now, again, vote for who you want to vote for. I really believe that. If you want to vote for either of these people, you have my complete support. All I want to do is I want to make sure that we're having these conversations. Okay. Anyways, what do you think about all this? I know we talked about a lot of different things, but I hope it was helpful. And yeah, let me know what you think about all this in the comments, and I'll see you next time. Hey everyone, thank you so much for watching and listening. I appreciate your time so much, and I really hope you enjoyed this episode. If you'd like to support what we're building here, please like and subscribe. It means a lot and it really helps us out. And if you want to see even more content from me, make sure to follow me on Instagram. I'm going to be sharing a lot more on there. Thank you so much. Have a great day, and I'll see you next time.